Chapter 2, Part 1. She would only want to move, she decided, if she found an absolutely perfect house, one that, besides having the right number of right-sized rooms, needed practically no redecoration and had an existing darkroom or something darn close to one. And it would have to cost no more than the $52,500 they had paid, and could still get, Walter was sure, for the Stepford house. A tall order, and she wasn't going to waste too much time trying to fill it. But she went out looking with Bobbie one cold, bright, early December morning. Bobbie was looking every morning in Norwood, Eastbridge and New Sharon as soon as she found something right, and she was far more flexible in her demands than Joanna. She was going to pressure Dave for an immediate move, despite the boys' having to change schools in the middle of the year. Better a little disruption in their lives than a zombie-ized mother, she said. She really was drinking bottled water and wasn't eating any locally grown produce. You can buy bottled oxygen, you know, Joanna said. Screw you! I can see you now comparing Ajax to your pleasant cleanser. The looking inclined Joanna to look more. The women they met, Eastbridge homeowners and a real estate broker named Miss Kergasser, were alert, lively and quirky, confirming by contrast the blandness of Stepford women. And Eastbridge offered a wide range of community activities, for women and for men and women. There was even an OW chapter in formation. Why didn't you look at first? Miss Kergasser asked, rocketing her car down a zigzag road at terrifying speed. My husband had heard, Joanna said, clutching the armrest, watching the road, tramping on wished-for brakes. It's dead there. We're much more with it. Would like to get back there to pack, though, Bobbie said from in back. Miss Kergasser brayed a laugh. I can drive these roads blindfolded, she said. I want to show you 2 more places after this one. On the way back to Stepford, Bobbie said, That's from me. I'm going to be a broker, I just decided. You get out, you meet people, you get to look in everyone's closets, and you can set your own hours. I mean it, I'm going to find out what the requirements are. They got a letter from the Department of Health, 2 pages long. It assured them that their interest in environmental protection was shared by both their state and county governments. Industrial installations throughout the state were subject to stringent anti-pollutionary regulations such as the following. These were enforced not only by frequent inspection of the installations themselves, but also by regular examination of soil, water, and air samples. There was no indication whatsoever of harmful pollution in the Stepford area, nor of any naturally occurring chemical presence that might produce a tranquilizing or depressant effect. They could rest assured that their concern was groundless, but their letter was appreciated nonetheless. Bullshit, Bobbie said, and stayed with the bottled water. She brought a thermos of coffee with her whenever she came to Joanna's. Walter was lying on his side, facing away from her when she came out of the bathroom. She sat down on the bed, turned the lamp off, and got in under the blanket. She lay on her back and watched the ceiling take shape over her. Walter, she said. Was that any good? She asked. For you? Sure it was, he said. Wasn't it for you? Yes, she said. He didn't say anything. I've had the feeling that it hasn't been, she said. Good for you. The last few times. No, he said. It's been fine, just like always. She lay, seeing the ceiling. She thought of Charmaine, who wouldn't let Ed catch her. Or had she changed in that, too? And she remembered Bobbie's remark about Dave's odd ideas. Good night, Walter said. Is there anything, she asked, that I don't do that you'd like me to do, or that I do that you'd like me not to do? He didn't say anything, and then he said, Whatever you want to do, that's all. He turned over and looked at her up on his elbow. Really? He said and smiled. It's fine. Maybe I've been a little tired lately because of the commuting. He kissed her cheek. Go to sleep, he said. Are you having an affair with Esther? Oh, for God's sake, he said. She's going with a Black Panther. I'm not having an affair with anybody. Black Panther? That's what Don's security told him. We don't even talk about sex. All I do is correct her spelling. Come on, let's get some sleep. He kissed her cheek and turned away from her. She turned over onto her stomach and closed her eyes. She shifted and stirred, trying to settle herself comfortably. They went to a movie in Norwood with Bobbie and Dave and spent an evening with them in front of the fire, playing Monopoly, kiddingly. A heavy snow fell on a Saturday night, and Walter gave up his Sunday afternoon football watching, not very happily, to take Pete and Kim sledding on Winter Hill while she drove to New Sharon and shot a roll and a half of colour in a bird sanctuary. Pete got the lead in his class Christmas play, and Walter, on the way home one night, either lost his wallet or had his pocket picked. She brought 16 photos in to the agency. Bob Silverberg, the man she dealt with there, admired them gratifyingly but told her that the agency wasn't signing contracts with anybody at that time. He kept the photos, saying he would let her know in a day or two whether he felt any of them were marketable. She had lunch, disappointedly, with an old friend, Doris Lombardo, and did some Christmas shopping for Walter and her parents. 10 of the pictures came back, including Off Duty, which she decided at once she would enter in the next Saturday Review contest. Among the 6 the agency had kept and would handle was Student, the one of Johnny Markow at his microscope. She called Bobbie and told her. I'll give him 10% of whatever it makes, she said.
Does that mean we can stop giving him allowance?
You better not. My best one's made a little over 1,000 so far, but the other 2 have only made about 200 each.
Well, it's not bad for a kid who looks like Peter Lorre,
Bobbie said.
Him, I mean, not you. Listen, I was going to call you. Can you take Adam for the weekend, would you?
Sure, she said. Pete and Kim would love it. Why?
Dave's had a brainstorm. We're going to have a weekend alone, just the 2 of us. Second honeymoon time.
A sense of beforeness touched her. Déjà vu. She brushed it away. That's great, she said.
We've got Johnny and Kenny booked in the neighborhood,
Bobbie said.
But I thought Adam would have a better time at your place.
Sure, Joanna said. It'll make it easier to keep Pete and Kim out of each other's hair. What are you doing, going into the city?
No, just staying here and getting snowed in, we hope. I'll bring him over tomorrow after school, okay? And pick him up late Sunday.
Fine. How's the house hunting?
Not so good. I saw a beauty in Norwood this morning, but they're not getting out till April 1st.
So, stick around.
No, thanks. Want to get together?
I can't. I've got to do some cleaning, really.
You see? You're changing. That Stepford magic is starting to work.
A black woman in an orange scarf and striped fake fur coat stood waiting at the library desk, her fingertips resting on a stack of books. She glanced at Joanna and nodded with a near smile. Joanna nodded and near smiled back, and the black woman looked away at the empty chair behind the desk and the bookshelves behind the chair. She was tall and tan-skinned, with close-cropped black hair and large dark eyes, exotic-looking and attractive. About 30. Joanna, going to the desk, took her gloves off and got the postcard out of her pocket. She looked at Miss Austrian's name stand on the desk and at the books under the long, slim fingers of the black woman a few feet away. A Severed Head by Iris Murdoch, with I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings and The Magus underneath it. Joanna looked at the postcard. Skinner, Beyond Freedom and Dignity, would be held for her until the 11th of the 12th. She wanted to say something friendly and welcoming. The woman was Surely the wife or daughter of the black family the welcome wagon lady had mentioned, but she didn't want to be white liberal patronizing. Would she say something if the woman weren't black? Yes, in a situation like this. We could walk off with the whole place if we wanted to, the black woman said, and Joanna smiled at her and said, We ought to. Teach her to stay on the job. She nodded toward the desk. The black woman smiled. Is it always this empty? She asked. I've never seen it this way before, Joanna said, but I've only been here in the afternoon and on Saturdays. Are you new in Stepford? 3 months. 3 days for me, the black woman said. I hope you like it. I think I will. Joanna put her hand out. I'm Joanna Eberhardt, she said, smiling. Ruth Ann Hendry, the black woman said, smiling and shaking Joanna's hand. Joanna tipped her head and squinted. I know that name, she said. I've seen it someplace. The woman smiled. Do you have any small children? She asked. Joanna nodded, puzzled. I've done a children's book. Penny has a plan, the woman said. They've got it here. I checked the catalog first thing. Of course, Joanna said. Kim had it out about 2 weeks ago and loved it. I did too. It's so good to find one where a girl actually does something besides make tea for her dolls. Subtle propaganda, Ruth Ann Hendry said, smiling. You did the illustrations too, Joanna said. They were terrific. Thank you. Are you doing another one? Ruth Ann Hendry nodded. I've got one laid out, she said. I'll be starting the real work as soon as we get settled. I'm sorry, Miss Austrian said, coming limping from the back of the room. It's so quiet here in the morning that I... She stopped and blinked and came limping on. Work in the office. Have to get one of those bells people can tap on. Hello, Mrs. Eberhardt. She smiled at Joanna and at Ruth Ann Hendry. Hello, Joanna said. This is one of your authors. Penny has a plan. Ruth Ann Hendry. Oh? Miss Austrian sat down heavily in the chair and held its arms with plump pink hands. That's a very popular book, she said. We have 2 copies in circulation and they're both replacements. I like this library, Ruth Ann Hendry said. Can I join? Do you live in Stepford? Yes, I just moved here. Then you're welcome to join, Miss Austrian said. She opened a drawer, took out a white card and put it down beside the stack of books. At the centre luncheonette's counter, empty except for 2 telephone repairmen, Ruth Ann stirred her coffee and looking at Joanna said, Tell me something, on the level. Was there much reaction to our buying here? None at all that I heard of, Joanna said. It's not a town where reactions can develop to anything. There's no place where people really intersect, except the men's association. They're all right, Ruth Ann said. Royal is joining tomorrow night, but the women in the neighborhood... Oh, listen, Joanna said. That doesn't have anything to do with color, believe me. They're like that with everybody. No time for a cup of coffee, right? Riveted on their housework? Ruth Ann nodded. I don't mind for myself, she said. I'm very self-sufficient. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone along with the move, but I... Joanna told her about the Stepford women and how Bobbie was even planning to move away to avoid becoming like them. Ruth Ann smiled. There's nothing that's going to make a housefrau out of me, she said. If they're that way, fine. I was just concerned about it being about color because of the girls. She had 2 of them, 4 and 6, and her husband Royal was chairman of the sociology department of one of the city universities. Joanna told her about Walter and Pete and Kim, and about her photography. They exchanged phone numbers. I turned into a hermit when I was working on Penny, Ruth Ann said, but I'll call you sooner or later. I'll call you, Joanna said. If you're busy, just say so. I want you to meet Bobbie. I'm sure you'll like each other. On the way to their cars, they had left them in front of the library, Joanna saw Dale Kober looking at her from a distance. He stood with a lamb in his arms by a group of men setting up a creche near the Historical Society cottage. She nodded at him, and he, holding the live-looking lamb, nodded and smiled. She told Ruth Ann who he was and asked her if she knew that Ike Mazard lived in Stepford. Who? Ike Mazard, the illustrator. Ruth Ann had never heard of him, which made Joanna feel very old or very white. Having Adam for the weekend was a mixed blessing. On Saturday, he and Pete and Kim played beautifully together, inside the house and out. But on Sunday, a freezing cold, overcast day when Walter laid claim to the family room for football watching, fairly enough, after last Sunday's sledding, Adam and Pete became serially soldiers in a blanket over the dining table fort, explorers in the cellar, stay out of that dark room, and Star Trek people in Pete's room, all of them sharing, strangely enough, a single common enemy called Kim She's Dim. They were loudly and scornfully watchful, preparing defences, and poor Kim was dim, wanting only to join them, not to crayon or help file negatives, not even, Joanna was desperate, to bake cookies. Adam and Pete ignored threats, Kim ignored blandishments, Walter ignored everything. Joanna was glad when Bobbie and Dave came to pick Adam up, but she was glad she had taken him when she saw how great they looked. Bobbie had had her hair done and was absolutely beautiful, either due to makeup or lovemaking, probably both, and Dave looked jaunty and keyed up and happy. They brought bracing coldness into the entrance hall.
"Hi, Joanna, how'd it go?"
Dave said, rubbing leather-gloved hands, and Bobbie, wrapped in her raccoon coat, said,
"I hope Adam wasn't any trouble."
"Not a speck," Joanna said. "You look marvellous, both of you."
"We feel marvellous,"
Dave said, and Bobbie smiled and said,
"It was a lovely weekend. Thank you for helping us manage it."
"Forget it," Joanna said. "I'm going to plunk Pete with you one of these weekends."
"We'll be glad to take him,"
Bobbie said, and Dave said,
"Whenever you want, just say the word. Adam, time to go."
"He's up in Pete's room." Dave cupped his gloved hands and shouted,
Adam, wait here, get your stuff."
"Take your coats off," Joanna said.
"Nah, I gotta pick up John and Kenny,"
Dave said, and Bobbie said,
"I'm sure you'd like some peace and quiet. It must have been hectic."
"Well, it hasn't been my most restful Sunday," Joanna said. "Yesterday was great, though." "Hi there," Walter said, coming in from the kitchen with a glass in his hand. Bobbie said, "Hello, Walter." And Dave said,
"Hi, buddy."
"How was the second honeymoon?" Walter asked.
"Better than the first,"
Dave said.
"Just shorter, that's all."
He grinned at Walter. Joanna looked at Bobbie, expecting her to say something funny. Bobbie smiled at her and looked toward the stairs.
"Hello, Gumdrop," she said. "Did you have a nice weekend?"
"I don't want to go," Adam said, standing tilted to keep his shopping bag clear of the stair. Pete and Kim stood behind him. Kim said,
"Can he stay another night?" "No, dear, there's school tomorrow,"
Bobbie said, and Dave said,
"Come on, pal, we gotta collect the rest of the mafia."
Adam came sulkily down the stairs, and Joanna went to the closet for his coat and boots.
"Hey,"
Dave said.
I got some information on that stock you asked about."
Walter said, "Oh, good," and he and Dave went into the living room. Joanna gave Adam's coat to Bobbie, and Bobbie thanked her and held it open for Adam. He put his shopping bag down and winged back, his arms to the coat sleeves. Joanna, holding Adam's boots, said, "Do you want a bag for these?"
"No, don't bother,"
Bobbie said. She turned Adam around and helped him with his buttons.
"You smell nice," he said. "Thanks, Gumdrop."
He looked at the ceiling and at her.
"I don't like you to call me that," he said. "I used to, but now I don't." "I'm sorry," she said. "I won't do it again."
She smiled at him and kissed him on the forehead. Walter and Dave came out of the living room, and Adam picked up his shopping bag and said goodbye to Pete and Kim. Joanna gave Adam's boots to Bobbie and touched cheeks with her. Bobbie's was still cool from outside, and she did smell nice. "Speak to you tomorrow," Joanna said.
"Sure,"
Bobbie said. They smiled at each other. Bobbie moved to Walter at the door and offered her cheek. He hesitated. Joanna wondered why, and pecked it. Dave kissed Joanna, clapped Walter on the arm,
"So long, buddy,"
and steered Adam out after Bobbie.
"Can we go in the family room now?"
Pete asked. "It's all yours," Walter said. Pete ran away and Kim ran after him. Joanna and Walter stood at the cold glass of the storm door, looking out at Bobbie and Dave and Adam getting into their car. "Fantastic," Walter said. "Don't they look great?" Joanna said. "Bobbie didn't even look that good at the party. Why didn't you want to kiss her?" Walter didn't say anything, and then he said, "Oh,
I don't know. Cheek kissing, it's so damn show business. I never noticed you objecting before. And I've changed, I guess, he said. She watched the car doors close and its headlights flash on. How about us having a weekend alone? She said. They'll take Pete. They said they would, and I'm sure the Van Sants would take Kim. That'd be great, he said, right after the holidays. Or maybe the Hendrys, she said. They've got a 6-year-old girl, and I'd like Kim to get to know a black family. The car pulled away. Red tail lights shining, and Walter closed the door and locked it and thumbed down the switch of the outside lights. Want a drink? He asked. Oh, and how? Joanna said. I need one after today. Ugh, what a Monday. Pete's room to be reassembled and all the others straightened out. The beds to be changed, washing, and she'd let it pile up, of course. Tomorrow's shopping list to make up, and 3 pairs of Pete's pants to be lengthened. That was what she was doing, never mind what else had to be done. The Christmas shopping and the Christmas card addressing and making Pete's costume for the play. Thanks for that, Miss Turner. Bobbie didn't call, thank goodness. This wasn't a day for cafe clatching. Is she right? Joanna wondered. Am I changing? Hell no. The housework had to be caught up with once in a while. Otherwise the place would turn into Bobbie's place. Besides, a real Stepford wife would sail through it all very calmly and efficiently, not running the vacuum cleaner over its cord and then mashing her fingers getting the cord out from around the damn roller thing. She gave Pete hell about not putting toys away when he was done playing with them, and he sulked for an hour and wouldn't talk to her. And Kim was coughing. And Walter begged off his turn at KP and ran out to get into Herb Sanderson's full car. Busy time at the Men's Association, the Christmas Toys Project. Who for? Were there any needy children in Stepford? She'd seen no sign of any. She cut a sheet to start Pete's costume, a snowman, and played a game of concentration with him and Kim, who only coughed once but kept the fingers crossed. And then she addressed Christmas cards, down through the L's, and went to bed at 10. She fell asleep with the Skinner book. Tuesday was better. When she had cleaned up the breakfast mess and made the beds, she called Bobbie. No answer. She was house hunting and drove to the centre and did the week's main marketing. She went to the centre again after lunch, took pictures of the creche, and got home just ahead of the school bus. Walter did the dishes and then went to the Men's Association. The toys were for kids in the city, ghetto kids and kids in hospitals. Complain about that, Miss Eberhardt. Or would she still be Miss Ingalls? Miss Ingalls Eberhardt? After she got Pete and Kim bathed and into bed, she called Bobbie. It was odd that Bobbie hadn't called her in 2 full days.
Hello?
Bobbie said. Long time no speak.
Who's this?
Joanna,
Oh, hello.
Bobbie said.
How are you?
Fine, are you? You sound sort of blah,
No, I'm fine.
Bobbie said. Any luck this morning?
What do you mean?
House hunting,
I went shopping this morning.
Bobbie said. Why didn't you call me?
I went very early.
I went around 10. We must have just missed each other. Bobbie didn't say anything. Bobbie?
Yes?
Are you sure you're okay?
Positive. I'm in the middle of some ironing.
At this hour?
Dave needs a shirt for tomorrow.
Oh. Call me in the morning then. Maybe we can have lunch. Unless you're going house hunting.
I'm not.
Bobbie said. Call me then, okay?
Okay.
Bobbie said.
Bye, Joanna.
Goodbye. She hung up and sat looking at the phone and her hand on it. The thought struck her, ridiculously, that Bobbie had changed the way Charmaine had. No, not Bobbie. Impossible. She must have had a fight with Dave, a major one that she wasn't ready to talk about yet. Or could she herself have offended Bobbie in some way without being aware of it? Had she said something Sunday about Adam's stay over that Bobbie might have misinterpreted? But no, they'd parted as friendly as ever, touching cheeks and saying they'd speak to each other. Yet even then, now that she thought about it, Bobbie had seemed different. She hadn't said the sort of things she usually did, and she'd moved more slowly too. Maybe she and Dave had been smoking pot over the weekend. They'd tried it a couple of times without much effect, Bobbie had said. Maybe this time. She addressed a few Christmas cards. She called Ruth Ann Hendry, who was friendly and glad to hear from her. They talked about the Magus, which Ruth Ann was enjoying as much as Joanna had, and Ruth Ann told her about her new book, Another Penny Story. They agreed to have lunch together the following week. Joanna would speak to Bobbie, and the three of them would go to the French place in Eastbridge. Ruth Ann would call her Monday morning. She addressed Christmas cards and read the Skinner book in bed until Walter came home. "I spoke to Bobbie tonight," she said. "She sounded different, washed out."
"She's probably tired from all that running around she's been doing," Walter said, emptying his jacket pockets onto the bureau.
"She seemed different Sunday too," Joanna said. She didn't say...
She had some makeup on, that's all," Walter said. "You're not going to start in with that chemical business, are you?"
She frowned, pressing the closed book to her blanketed knees. "Did Dave say anything about their trying pot again?" she asked.
"No," Walter said. "But maybe that's the answer."
They made love, but she was tense and couldn't really give herself, and it wasn't very good. Bobbie didn't call. Around 1 o'clock, Joanna drove over. The dogs barked at her as she got out of the station wagon. They were chained to an overhead line behind the house, the corgi up on his hind legs, pouring air and yipping, the sheepdog standing shaggy and stock-still, barking.
Ruff, 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 ruff.
Bobbie's blue Chevy stood in the driveway. Bobbie in her immaculate living room, cushions all fluffed, woodwork gleaming, magazines fanned on the polished table behind the sofa, smiled at Joanna and said, "I'm sorry, I was so busy it slipped my mind. Have you had lunch? Come on into the kitchen. I'll fix you a sandwich. What would you like?" She looked the way she had on Sunday, beautiful, her hair done, her face made up, and she was wearing some kind of padded high uplift bra under her green sweater and a hip-whittling girdle under the brown pleated skirt. In her immaculate kitchen, she said, "Yes, I've changed. I've realized I was being awfully sloppy and self-indulgent. I've decided to do my job conscientiously the way Dave does his, and to be more careful about my appearance. Are you sure you don't want a sandwich?" Joanna shook her head. "Bobbie," she said, I don't you see what's happened? Whatever's around here, it's got you, the way it got Charmaine." Bobbie smiled at her. "Nothing's got me," she said. "There's nothing around. That was a lot of nonsense. Stepford's a fine, healthful place to live." You don't want to move anymore?" "Oh, no," Bobbie said. "That was nonsense too. I'm perfectly happy here. Can I at least make you a cup of coffee?" She called Walter at his office.
Oh, good afternoon.
Esther said.
So nice to speak to you. Must be a super day up there. Are you here in town?
"No, I'm at home," she said. "May I speak to Walter, please?"
I'm afraid he's in conference at the moment.
"It's important. Please tell him."
Hold on a sec, then.
She held on, sitting at the den desk, looking at the papers and envelopes she had taken from the center drawer and at the calendar. Tuesday, December 14th, yesterday, and the Ike Mazard drawing.
He'll be right with you, Miss Eberhardt,
Esther said.
Nothing's wrong with Peter or Kim, I hope.
No, they're fine.
Good. They must be having a... Hello?
Walter said. "Walter!"
Hello? What is it?
"Walter, I want you to listen to me and don't argue," she said. "Bobbie has changed. I was over there. The house looks... It's spotless, Walter. It's immaculate. And she's got herself all... Listen, do you have the bank books? I've been looking for them and I can't find them." "Well, Walter?"
Yeah, I've got them.
He said.
I've been buying some stock on Dave's recommendations. What do you want them for?
"To see what we've got," she said. "There was a house I saw in Eastbridge that
Joanna.
was a little more than this one, but
Joanna, listen to me.
I'm not going to stay here another..."
Listen to me, damn it.
She gripped the handset. Go ahead, she said.
Well, I'll try to get home early,
He said.
Don't do anything till I get there, you hear me? Don't make any commitments or anything. I think I can get away in about half an hour.
I'm not going to stay here another day, she said.
Just wait till I get there, will you?
Said Walter.
We can't talk about this on the phone.
Bring the bank books, she said.
Don't do anything until I get there.
The phone clicked dead. She hung up. She put the papers and envelopes back into the center drawer and closed it. Then she got the phone book from the shelf and looked up Miss Kergas's number in Eastbridge. The house she was thinking of, the St. Martin house, was still on the market.
In fact, I think they've come down a bit since you saw it.
Would you do me a favor? She said. We may be interested. I'll know definitely tomorrow. Would you find out the rock bottom price they'll take for an immediate sale and let me know as soon as you can?
I'll get right back to you.
Miss Kergas said.
Do you know if Mrs. Markowitz found something? We had an appointment this morning, but she didn't show up.
She changed her mind. She's not moving, she said, but I am. She called Buck Raymond, the broker they'd used in Stepford. Just hypothetically, she said, if we were to put the house on the market tomorrow, do you think you could sell it quickly?
No doubt about it.
Buck said.
There's a steady demand here. I'm sure you could get what you paid, maybe even a little more. Aren't you happy in it?
No, she said.
I'm sorry to hear that. Shall I start showing it? There's a couple right here who,
No, not yet, she said. I'll let you know tomorrow.
Now just hold on a minute,
Walter said, making spread-handed calming gestures. No, she said, shaking her head. No, whatever it takes, whatever it is, it takes 4 months to work, which means I've got 1 more month to go, maybe less. We moved here September 4th.
For God's sake, Joanna.
Charmaine moved here in July, she said. She changed in November. Bobbie moved here in August, and now it's December. She turned and walked away from him. The sink's faucet was leaking. She hit the handle back hard, and the leaking stopped.
You had the letter from the Department of Health,
Walter said. Bullshit, to quote Bobbie. She turned and faced him. There's something. There's got to be, she said. Go take a look. Would you do that, please? She's got a bust shoved out to here, and her behind girdled down to practically nothing. The house is like a commercial, like Carol's and Donna's and Kit Sanderson's.
She had to clean it sooner or later. It was a pigsty.
She's changed, Walter. She doesn't talk the same. She doesn't think the same. I'm not going to wait around for it to happen to me.
We're not going to...
Kim came in from the patio, her face red in its fur-edged hood.
Stay out, Kim,
Walter said. We want some supplies, Kim said. We're going on a hike. Joanna went to the cookie jar and opened it and got out cookies. Here, she said, putting them into Kim's mittened hands. Stay near the house. It's getting dark. Can we have Oreos? We don't have Oreos. Go on. Kim went out. Walter closed the door. Joanna brushed crumbs from her hand. It's a nicer hand than this one, she said. And we can have it for $53.5. And we can get that for this one. Buck Raymond said so.
We're not moving,
Walter said. You said we would.
Next summer. Not...
I won't be me next summer.
Joanna.
Don't you understand? It's going to happen to me in January.
Nothing is going to happen to you.
That's what I told Bobbie. I kidded her about the bottled water. He came close to her.
There's nothing in the water. There's nothing in the air, he said. They changed for exactly the reasons they told you, because they realized they'd been lazy and negligent. If Bobbie's taking an interest in her appearance, it's about time. It wouldn't hurt you to look in a mirror once in a while.
She looked at him, and he looked away, flushing, and looked back at her.
I mean it, he said. You're a very pretty woman, and you don't do a damn thing about yourself anymore unless there's a party or something.
He turned away from her and went and stood at the stove. He twisted a knob one way and the other. She looked at him. He said,
I'll tell you what we'll do.
Do you want me to change? She asked.
Of course not. Don't be silly.
He turned around. Is that what you want? She asked. A cute little gussied-up housefrau?
All I said was...
Is that why Stepford was the only place to move? Somebody passed the message to you? Take her to Stepford, Wally, old pal. There's something in the air there. She'll change in 4 months.
There's nothing in the air, Walter said. The message I got was good schools and low taxes. Now look, I'm trying to see this from your viewpoint and make some kind of fair judgment. You want to move because you're afraid you're going to change, and I think you're being irrational and a little hysterical. And then moving at this point would impose an undue hardship on all of us, especially Pete and Kim. He stopped and drew a breath. All right, let's do this, he said. You have a talk with Alan Hollingsworth, and if he says you're... With who? Alan Hollingsworth, he said. His eyes went from hers. The psychiatrist, you know. His eyes came back. If he says you're not going through some... I don't need a psychiatrist, she said. And if I did, I wouldn't want Alan Hollingsworth. I saw his wife at the PTA. She's one of them. You bet he'd think I'm irrational. Then pick someone else, he said. Anyone you want. If you're not going through some kind of delusion or something, then we'll move as soon as we possibly can. I'll look at that house tomorrow morning and even put a deposit on it. I don't need a psychiatrist, she said. I need to get out of Stepford. Now come on, Joanna, he said. I think I'm being damn fair. You're asking us to undergo a major upheaval, and I think you owe it to all of us, including yourself, especially yourself, to make sure you're seeing things as clearly as you think you are. She looked at him. Well, he said. She didn't say anything. She looked at him. Well, he said, doesn't that sound reasonable? She said, Bobbie changed when she was alone with Dave, and Charmaine changed when she was alone with Ed. He looked away, shaking his head. Is that what's going to happen to me? She said. On our weekend alone? It was your idea, he said. Would you have suggested it if I hadn't? Now you see, he said. Do you hear how you're talking? I want you to think about what I said. You can't disrupt all of our lives on the spur of the moment this way. It's unreasonable to expect to. He turned around and went out of the kitchen. She stood there and put her hand to her forehead and closed her eyes. She stayed that way and then lowered her hand, opened her eyes, and shook her head. She went to the refrigerator and opened it and took out a covered bowl and a market pack of meat. He sat at the desk, writing on a yellow pad. A cigarette in the ashtray ribboned smoke up into the lamplight. He looked at her and took his glasses off. All right, she said. I'll speak to someone, but a woman. Good, he said. That's a good idea. And you'll put a deposit on the house tomorrow? Yes, he said, unless there's something radically wrong with it. There isn't, she said. It's a good house and it's only 6 years old with a good mortgage. Fine, he said. She stood looking at him. Do you want me to change? She asked him. No, he said. I'd just like you to put on a little lipstick once in a while. That's no big change. I'd like me to change a little too, like lose a few pounds, for instance. She pushed her hair back straight. I'm going to work down in the darkroom for a while, she said. Pete's still awake. Will you keep an ear open? Sure, he said and smiled at her. She looked at him and turned and went away.